Hey everybody, it's nice and gloomy outside and rainy today, so we're going to strain our vinegar that we've been brewing for about 6 weeks. We got a clean 5-gallon bucket and a clean tea towel, and I just take the old towel off that it's been sitting on top of the bucket. And I don't use these because they get pretty grody and they'll have bugs and stuff throughout the month that sit and do their thing on top of the towel. So I don't use these towels to strain my vinegar with. I just toss them aside. And I use a big plastic strainer. And we did some a little while ago, and this is my pulp is inside the towel. I just line my strainer with a towel, and then I pour my vinegar into it, and then it sits and drips. And then as the liquid disappears, I go ahead and I squeeze this up and I twist it, and I get as much juice out of it as possible. And you can see how it's still kind of juicy, but I have squeezed and squeezed and mashed and mashed and squeezed, and not very much juice is coming out now. So this pulp I'm going to take and put in another container, and we will take it out and feed it to our animals. And then I go ahead and get a new dish towel and line it again. And the reason why I do this is because this guy is so full of scraps and debris that it takes forever to drain, and I get a little impatient. I'm ready to enjoy my vinegar. So if you'll notice, most of my towels that I use are of color. I wouldn't use a pure white one because it will stain. I just line it, and then I take my bucket very carefully and I just start dumping it in, and you'll see it does splash and make a mess, but it's splashing on the stainless steel. And guess what, folks? Vinegar will polish stainless steel. So when I'm done, I wipe it off. It's clean, disinfected, fingerprint proof, and everybody's happy. So it's really just pretty easy. Having a new towel in there helps it drain a lot faster. And then when this settles down in and most of the liquid is gone, then I'll start drawing in the sides and I'll start wringing it. Here's the reason why I don't reuse this towel. I go ahead and dump it into a bucket that we take out to the animals. So this bucket could be contaminated. And you can see all the fruit bits and pulp that's still stuck to this towel. I go ahead and rinse it out really well, and then I just run it through the wash with the rest of our clothes. And so I do go ahead and just get a new towel so that, kind of close, aren't ya? So that it'll sift through faster and not be plugged up or contaminated. I rub it off on the other side and get most of the loose stuff out so it's not going through the laundry. Oh, we don't want apple bits in your socks next time you put your socks on. And then I just wring it out and I toss it with the old towels, and out it goes. I can tell you it does smell really strong of vinegar in here when we're messing with it. It does smell like I spilled about 5 gallons of apple cider vinegar on the floor. But anyway, this is getting close. Sometimes I stir it, kind of agitate it a little bit, and that'll help it drip more. And then other times just moving it around will get it to start dripping again. I think the cloth gets full of pulp and kind of plugs it up. So anyway, I gather up as much of it as I can so I don't get apple bits in my vinegar. If you do, it's fine. You can restrain it a second time, a third time, a fourth time. If you want it crystal clear, you can run it through a coffee filter. But it's organic. I don't worry about it a whole lot. That's what makes it fun. So you can see, just start squeezing, and you're going to get a lot of vinegar and apple juices out. I kind of go slow. If you go too fast, sometimes you get a squirt in the eye. That's quite painful. I can tell you that it's very acidic. It does smell like bottled vinegar from the store. If that is bothersome to your skin, I recommend wearing some gloves. But I don't do this process until I've washed my hands. I always want to make sure you have clean hands if you're messing with your food. Very important. So we just squeeze and twist and push and maneuver until you get as much out as you want. Or if you're done with it at this point, you don't want to mess with it because you have 25 gallons that you've got to strain like I do. You can just squeeze a little bit and call it a day and pitch it to the animals. We put ours out to the animals because the mother bacteria that is in this is like acidophilus and a natural antibiotic. It's very good for the animals. So I don't feel guilty at all feeding them vinegar apple scraps. They love it, and it's really good for them. That's all there is to it. So my handy helper, he's videotaping while I do this. We have not squeezed all 5 gallons, 2 5-gallon buckets into this yet. So we still have a ways to go, but I have a old vinegar container, and you can reuse these, washed up and ready to go. And last night when I bottled my vinegar, I just poured the 5-gallon bucket into the funnel, but my buckets were not this full. So I'm just going to use a clean glass. Make sure it is glass or food grade plastic. Don't use metal because this is very acidic. It can ruin your metal. And you would just pour this in here, fill it most of the way.